What if the reason you struggle to lose weight isn't because you lack motivation or you lack discipline? What if you've simply been trying to change too many things at once? I know this sounds like familiar. We talk about this a lot. Well, today's guest has spent years stuck in this cycle of losing weight, gaining it back, and believing that life was always getting in the way. And today she's going to share what finally changed and why this time has been different, and how focusing on just one habit at a time helped her lose nearly 20 pounds, well, 20 pounds now, and has gained an incredible confidence and create a lifestyle she can actually sustain. I think you are going to see a lot of yourself in her story. So let's get into it. This is going to be like an intro after the intro, if you don't mind, because today's episode is amazing all on its own. But I do think that I owe you a mini update. Because if you don't know yet, and maybe you have seen that we brought in a new member to our family, and that is our little baby dog, Daisy Mae Sunshine. She's our new addition to the Wilson family. And I just want to say that I was planning to bring another dog puppy into my life, but I didn't know that it was going to happen this soon. And all the stars aligned. Like, I can't even tell you how many things, like, checked off, like, checked the list, like, she checked off all these things. And, like I say, I really didn't know that it was going to happen so soon, but it's happened, and life has gotten a little bit crazier, busier, but I'm loving it. It's okay with me. I'm not mad about it. Anyways, her name is Daisy Mae Sunshine. I picked her up from it's called the Viz Wiz Rescue, Viz Wiz Wiesla Rescue. So she is a puppy, and it's very rare to rescue a puppy, and she's a Wiesla. And I've had a puppy in the past. I've actually had a Wiesla many years ago before I had kids. So super duper happy about it, and I'm excited about it. And then the other huge, big deal in my life, another family member to the family, that just happened 2 days ago. My Brookie got married, and we now have a son-in-law. So that's another big thing. I haven't shared a whole lot about it just because my Brookie wanted to be on the DL. I don't understand it. I'm just being a loving, supportive mom. And so we had a fun, wonderful, beautiful wedding. It was a blast. And now she is officially Brookie Benny Henny. I don't even know if I'm saying the last name. I don't think I'm saying the last name right. But anyways, I'm a mother-in-law now. Isn't that weird? So weird. So, okay, without further ado, let's get into this episode, like for real this time. Hey girl, welcome back to another episode of Rock That Fitness with Anna Rockstar and one of our amazing members of Rock That Fitness, Heather Oatis. Heather, welcome. Welcome to our show. So glad you're here.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you so
Well,
much.
Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. And I'm real excited for this episode because it's kind of a little bit, I thought it was going to be a longer time before having you on, but then last week you were on a coaching call and I was like, no, we've got to get you on here because you were such an inspiration on that coaching call last week that I said, yeah, let's do it. So Heather, before we get into, I've got questions, but you know how this goes. We're just going to have a conversation, and so excited to hear you share your story with everyone and our listeners. But before we get started on all those things, can you just give us a little bit about you? Tell us, where do you live? Tell us about your family and what you do. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I'm from Massachusetts. I'm 49 years old. I'll be 50 in July, the big
Oh,
50 coming up.
wait, July
Um,
what?
July 30th.
Okay,
Yep, it's
okay.
coming up. My husband and I have been married almost 25 years. That will be
Wow.
later this year. And we have two children. One's in college already. Our son's in college, and we have a daughter that's off to college in the fall. So
Wow.
we'll be empty nesters for a little while.
For a
So
little while?
Yeah, a little while. My son's graduating early, so he'll be home in December.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
looking forward to it. Life is good.
And do you work? What do you do?
Sure. I worked for an insurance agency for 25 years, and I ended up making a career change about 2 years ago. I now work at a farm near me in the farm store.
Oh,
Completely different. I started with that change, and it's been wonderful. I loved my career as an agent, but this is just so much fun as well.
is it like a totally different type of schedule now that you're working for the farm store?
I used to commute about an hour each way to my job at the agency, so
Oh,
that
okay.
was made it a bit longer. I do work part-time, but the farm is 10 minutes down the road from me, so that is very nice. I'm working, a little bit more, but still, it's something I love. It's a great change of pace, and I'm there year round, so
What are you doing at
yeah,
the
it's
farm
good.
store? What exactly do
I
you do
know.
there?
So it kind of gets into my fitness journey a little bit. I
Okay.
obviously, being in an office setting, I was sitting at my desk, I only work part-time, so like 4 or 5 hours a day, and then sitting in the car.
Yeah.
And I took this job thinking, oh, I'm going to wait on customers a little bit in their farm store and just how you doing today. And I found out real quick that that was far from the truth. I am picking up 50-pound bags of carrots and potatoes.
Oh my
And
goodness.
now that summer, their own produce is coming in.
Oh
So
wow.
I really needed to do something, and it was a big change just, going from that desk job to something very physical.
Yeah, that's
But it's
drastic
been great
change.
for me. It's been great for
Wow,
me.
that is a drastic change. I don't know why I
Absolutely.
thought I was like, for some reason, I didn't know the details of what you were doing. Like, I thought you had your own farm.
Yep, not quite. Oh boy, no, not
I'm like,
quite there.
Heather's working
But
on her farm.
yeah, yeah,
But
not that.
no.
I'm still in the farm store and do an
Yeah.
array of jobs, but
Yeah, that's
it's good.
physical. That's
Yep.
awesome. That's wonderful. I love when there's a position that keeps us active. It's like it forces us to be active out there. That's awesome. So, to tell our listeners a little bit about your story when it comes to, being a part of Rock That Fitness, because this round, which you were a part of Rock That Fitness in the past, and I very much remember it, that time period. And then you came back. Like, was it January you came back?
Yes, in January.
Okay.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that. Like,
Sure, sure. Of course, in the past, I had done a million different diets, the fad things, this and that, had all those as seen on TV gadgets and this and that. I was with Weight Watchers for a long time. And it would always like come and go. I might, lose some weight and then gain it back, and never been really committed with anything. I found you, I think it was on Facebook, back in the day, close to 2020, around the pandemic and
oh wow.
everything. And thought, hey, maybe this is something. I was in my house, obviously, and thought, hey, I can work out from home and, get on the bandwagon here with Anna. And things went really well for me the first time. It was completely different from anything I had done before. And we can go into that later,
Sure.
just the whole program and everything. I had success the first time. I think I was down maybe 10, 15 pounds. Stuck with it about a year and a half, and then life circumstances hit. Um, in my family. Unfortunately, a son that had mental health issues at the time, and between that and a lot of pressure at work at my
Mm-hmm.
old job, things changing and everything, I really started to feel the stress of it. And rather than lean into the group, which I should have done for the support, I just kind of shut down, and I just did not deal with it in a proper way, which I know I'm not alone. A lot of people,
Yeah.
will do things like that. That's how we fall off. But after that, life got really busy for me, a little hard, if I'm honest. And I just kind of put on the weight and stopped. I was so just involved with everyone else, my family, my work, everything else, that I just wasn't making the time for myself. And then my health started to take a turn. Some of my labs were not good, and by November I had gone to the doctors, had some labs done, and they said this has got to end. I gotta figure this out. And I knew that Rock That Fitness was the only place that I wanted to go back. I was unsure, about it. And oh, am I going to fail again? What's going to happen? What's that all going to look like? But, I am completely thrilled that, I've given it a second chance.
Yeah. Well, you went through a hard time though, Heather. And when you said, that you should have leaned in, this is going to be the coach in me and the friend in me to say, I hope you have been able to just have compassion for the past Heather that was going through all that, because you're right. Most women are going to be afraid and they're going to run, and they just run the opposite direction because there tends to be this feeling like I didn't do it right, I'm not good enough, shame and guilt, and then we just run away. We're going to ignore those because it's painful when we're in, especially you're dealing with the pain of life circumstances, and now you feel the pain of that, you feel like you didn't follow through for yourself. Have you been able to at least reconcile, like, well, you know,
Absolutely, absolutely. Everything you go through in life, Anna, is a learning experience.
yeah,
Life is life all the time. You never know what tomorrow will bring. You never think you're going to be that person that XYZ happens to. Things happen, things go on, life goes on, and you have to, in the moment, you just kind of deal, and you're just doing the things all the way through. But looking back, hopefully you grow and learn and change. You look and say, wow, how did I get through that? And wow, how proud am I that I did, that we did, and look at where I've come today, in multiple aspects,
yeah,
of my life. And maybe, these are the things that shape you as a person. These are the
right.
things, those hard times sometimes are things that really make you take a look back, at
Yeah,
your life,
yeah,
and move forward.
this is exactly why I had to bring you on. So thinking back to that time when you stepped away from putting yourself first in your health and your fitness, and then allowing, right, for lack of a better way to describe it, just allowing things to take you off in that direction. What were you struggling with at the time, physically and mentally? What was your big struggle at the time?
Sure, physically I was exhausted. Mentally I was exhausted. When I would come home from work, um, I'd make dinner for the family, and then all I would want to do at night is sit on the couch with some snacks, a bag of chips, a glass of wine, which always was, two, or some days three if it was a weekend or whatever. A lot of times, let's just go out to dinner and not worry about cooking. My health was the furthest, thing from my mind. I was, struggling with just low energy. I had high blood pressure. My blood glucose levels were high. But yet I just kept thinking, I don't know. I'm stuck, and I'd sit there doom scrolling on the phone like we all do, looking looking at all the other women who are either look at me from where I've gone and how much weight I've lost to unrealistic AI images, or um, you aren't losing weight because you're in menopause. You aren't losing weight because you need a GLP-1. You aren't losing weight because you need XYZ,
Yeah.
things that cost money, things, and you really start to believe some of these things. I'm too old, I'm too lazy. No, that's for other people, not for me. That's kind of where I was, and kind of, you know, just in that mindset that it's too late for me. I'm not going to do this.
So you
But
felt,
I remember that I was once a rock star, part of Rock That Fitness. And I have seen so many ladies who, when I came back, the best thing, Anna, was seeing women that had been there. They've been with the group,
yeah,
since you started, and they're still there. They, are doing amazing.
yeah, community is so great. It's a family.
Mhm.
It's a family like nothing else because like in our day-to-day face-to-face life, it's just hard to find that support and that connection with other women that are after putting themselves first. So yeah, I'm going to talk all day about RTF.
Yeah.
But so it sounds like you were at a place where you felt like it wasn't you felt like it was like not possible like anymore.
Yep, it was not possible, but I was just tired. I was so tired. And being at this time by October, I had left the farm already. I went to the doctors, I got the bad labs. They had offered me a promotion at work, which would require more time and commitment and everything. So there were multiple reasons I didn't take it, but I remember going into my boss's office, and they offered it to me. And I told her, I can't do this. I can't do physically any more hours, because I was lifting and I was sweating. I would come up with sweat unloading pallets of things, but I was going to do it. I wasn't going to, let them down or be that person not doing it. But I was really, unhealthy and, not in shape. So I did. I declined the promotion again for different reasons, but it's sad to think, wow, no, I can't work anymore because I physically can't do it.
That was the farm. That was the
That was
farm.
the farm. Yeah, the
Oh,
farm.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yep,
putting
that
things in
was just this
perspective.
past September, October, and I
Okay,
had to make
okay.
that decision, and then had the doctor's appointment in November, and that's when I really started thinking. I know, high blood pressure, breast cancer runs in my family. They've told me, you really shouldn't be drinking alcohol, limit it. And I wasn't, a big drinker, but it seemed like, every few days, you're with friends constantly at that age when you have kids. And it was my socialization. I love to go out and eat and drink and just relax. And
Yeah.
I started thinking, well, what if I just gave it a chance and quit alcohol? Now we're going into the Christmas, holiday season, which wasn't easy. But I said, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to like commit myself. I don't know how
Oh,
long for. I'm going to lose a ton of weight, thinking I'm going to, go to a size 4, overnight because I've quit alcohol. Well, I wasn't drinking that much that it came, and I was fine with it. But I think I started eating more, saying, oh, well, I can have these snacks or do this. And then the holidays came. January 1st came. I just kept letting it go and thinking in my mind, I really should do something. I should,
yeah.
And eventually I said, you know what, Heather, you've never given yourself an opportunity when you were like kind of all in, meaning you're gonna give up the alcohol, you're gonna work on your health, and fitness, your nutrition. You have this new job that you want to be a part of. Now, these were big, lofty goals when you're all in. So I did rejoin, and let me know if you have any
Oh,
questions.
yes. I have lots of
I'll let you
questions.
talk as well, Anna.
Okay. Okay, you're handing it over to me. Okay. Well, I didn't realize that you had already started the farm job and that your health was failing you, and this was the thing that kind of put you like face to face with your future self, your body and how, your health. So, um what so it sounds like this time was different for you because of face to face with health issues. Does that sound right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I saw those numbers that they say, oh, you're still in the normal range, but all of them are like leaning to the right, gonna be over and very soon, if I didn't take a step and do something.
Okay. And so what has been different this time since coming into, stepping into doing the things for yourself and making yourself a priority, and what surprised you the most?
Sure, absolutely. The number one thing was that I promised myself I was not going to get overwhelmed with doing too many things, with doing all the things, the tracking, the workouts, the posting online, doing, just everything at once. Don't overwhelm yourself with that. It will come. It will come. And the group was so supportive with that. Um, I will tell you, my workout history was almost like pretty much non-existent for Rock That Fitness. I knew nothing about strength training. I had like, Buns of Steel, Cindy Crawford workout videos back in the day that you do like for 2 weeks and then they go in the closet and that's it. A few gym memberships, the beginning of the year and never go back. And I just said, I hate working out. I'm sorry. That's probably offensive to you, but
No, a lot of people feel that
like,
way.
no. So I decided, I was very honest that, okay, I'm going to try to do this. It's not that I'm not going to, but I'm going to work on one habit at first. And what I knew was tracking my food. For me, it's easy. For other people, they're better at the fitness and they don't want to have the hassle of tracking their food or learn that. It's all a skill that you have to learn.
Yeah. Can
So I
we?
started with that and
Yeah.
slowly brought in the workouts, maybe not 3 days a week. I started with 1 day a week. And I said, Heather, you can do this at home. You don't have to go to a gym. You don't have to pay money, to do the gym. You
Yeah.
don't say you don't have time for the gym. Well, you have weights. You can pick up the weights at home. And so I did, and I started with my 5 pound baby weights at home. And during the rest breaks, would be sitting on the couch, my, minute and a half rest and just waiting. But I had to get myself there,
Yes.
one step at
Um,
a time. So
you know what?
that's been a big change,
Yeah, I
not
can
being
tell.
overwhelmed by it all.
I can tell by your self talk and the things that you're saying, like you were coaching yourself. It's beautiful.
Yes, yes, I had to talk myself into
Yes.
it.
It's so important to do that. Let's take a sidestep here because, for reference, can you tell us when you first started in January? Because just for reference, how tall are you, if you don't mind, and how much did you weigh
Absolutely.
at that time? Not that the weight is the big deal, but just for
Yep.
reference.
Yep. I am 5'4". I was about 152 pounds when I started in January. And right now I'm at 132. So down about 20 pounds.
Yeah, and but tell us what other things have changed for you. Like, have you
Sure.
gone
Oh my
down in
goodness.
sizes? What? Tell us everything.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm down at least two sizes. I've gone from a size 10 to a size 6. Yeah, all
Good
my clothes
job.
are fitting better. I can see baby muscles.
Yes, yes,
Definition.
you're a muscle
Um,
mama.
yeah, definitely confidence is better. But the biggest thing is my energy. My energy. I have the energy to do the things I need to work out that I didn't before. I didn't want to do the workouts because I didn't have any energy. I was on the
Right.
couch all the time. I just wanted to sit there. At work, I am picking up those veggies off the pallets, no problem at all. I could
Check
clear
you
two
out.
pallets at this point. I feel really strong and it makes me happy that I can do that now.
Are you still doing your workouts at home?
Yes, yes. I thought
Okay.
you were going to say, am I still doing my workouts? I absolutely am, but I am still doing my workouts at home. It's working for me now. Mother's Day came and my husband knew I wanted a
Oh
workout
yeah.
bench. So He goes, "Oh no, I don't know. This is one step up from a vacuum cleaner for some people, but I really
He
wanted
really
it."
wanted that.
He's so supportive, so he got me that, and I am still doing the workouts at home. At some point, I will progress to the point where I think I need a gym membership. Just, otherwise you're having, thousands, hundreds of pounds of weights in
Yeah.
your house taking up space and,
Well, but
all that.
but you
But for
could,
now,
yeah,
there's
you can make so
plenty I
much
can do.
progress from
Yeah,
home. Absolutely.
plenty. I never realized how much progress I could make,
Right.
from home, in a very small budget, not putting a lot of money into this or, things like that.
Yeah, you put to work what you had and you've
Hmm.
made it work and now you've just been adding to your home gym.
Yep.
But yeah, I love that. And that's exactly right. It's just one thing at a time and your consistency obviously is paying off. And you say
Yes.
that the biggest thing for you is your energy. Do you think that's because you have slowly over time changed your nutrition and how you're eating?
Definitely. Number one, I know if there's any way to, limit or quit the alcohol, that's a big thing. That does catch up to you. Nutrition, absolutely. You know what? I don't crave the things that I was looking for before, putting healthy foods into my body, protein and fruits and vegetables and all those good things. It makes a difference. It makes a difference.
But
Absolutely.
you didn't change everything overnight. Like you
No,
did things
no,
little by
absolutely.
little. Can you
I
give us
did.
a, yeah, give us a, like, share a
Sure,
little bit about how that was in the beginning? Like what was
sure.
different and how you slowly,
Yep,
progressed with your nutrition? Because
yep.
I think a lot of women feel like they have to just flip their life upside down and eat healthy perfectly right now today.
Sure. In Rock That Fitness, we learned from day one, all you have to do is for the first week, track your food. Track what you're eating. It doesn't matter if you're eating M&Ms and Doritos. Track your food. Let's see how much, you're eating, what you're eating, and
Yeah.
everything. Let's start little by little increasing protein sources. I still had foods mixed in there, but then I'm learning as I'm eating, more protein, I'm less hungry. I'm not, picking up, the junk food and everything. But believe me, I still go out weekly. I go out to eat. I love to cook still. I make all kinds of meals for my whole family that fit in, and I'm not limiting, everything. At the beginning, that was another reason. I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. I'd sit on the couch and I don't want to do this. That takes away all the fun,
All the
all the
fun.
fun foods. It was all the fun foods, the drinking. I'm gonna be the most boring person in the world. I'm
Ooh,
not gonna
girl.
be out. There goes my social life, But
Interesting.
that was not the truth. There are a few times, yes, but you can make allowances anytime. You just plan it. The commitment and the consistency is the biggest part of the
Yeah.
change this time.
Yeah.
The people that are successful follow through with what they're going to do.
Yeah.
It can be small, small little changes, but just do it. I had to tell myself so many times, just do it. Stop sitting on the couch saying you're going to work out. You're going to get up. I still some days
Yeah.
do. I go, just move your behind, get up
You're
and
so
do it.
great. Well, this leads
Hmm.
us to the next part because this is huge, and this is probably, if I'm going to be bold to say, this is what sets us apart as a Rock That Fitness coaching community is that the mindset piece. And you were just now talking about how you thought it was going to be no fun, your social life was going to be impacted. So let's talk a little bit about that, where you've become different and that this is different than a weight loss program. And so what have you had to stop believing about yourself, and how has your relationship with yourself changed?
Absolutely. Um, the mindset piece is one of the things you will not find in other fitness groups. That is so valuable to me here. I went from thinking I'm too old, I'm too fat, I can't do this. If I don't lose weight on the scale, if the scale doesn't go down, I'm a failure. I'm not successful. I've learned that is not the only measure of success. And it's small things, pictures, the way you feel, the fact that my blood pressure's gone down, all those things, they really are big things. As much as we might not see them, our brains have been trained in the past to only, see success from the scale and what dress size you are or whatever. That's one of the biggest things. Just knowing that this is also a lifestyle, that it is sustainable and I can do this and I want to make a change, you know, forever, just bring it as part of, you know, my lifestyle. And it's not that hard. I
How,
just thought it's way too hard and overwhelming to do this and I can't, but
so how do
that's
you do
not the
that
truth.
though? Like, how do you, I get that you've gotten to this place where you just say, I'm just going to do it. But how do you do this? Like, what do you do now on the days that you don't feel like working out? How is it different for you? You said this in one of your testimonies. I can't listen to that voice in my head. Can you just kind of
Right.
elaborate on that for
Sure,
yourself?
you absolutely can.
How did you
It
get to this
doesn't
point?
matter about your feelings, how you're feeling that day, what you want to do, unless you're like really physically ill or something. Just get up and do it. Like Nike, just do it, do it. And you know what? Sometimes you just feel so much better when you have committed and do what you say you're going to do. I am unfortunately a procrastinator. I procrastinate, as many people are. You might not think it. Everything always gets done, but you know what? Stop putting yourself last. That was one of the things that I said it's going to be different this time. When I said all in, all in is making that commitment to yourself that you're going to follow through with what you said you're going to do. We're
Yeah.
not, crying
It's the
wolf anymore.
commitment. I love
You
that.
know,
That's a
yeah,
commitment to yourself.
commitment to yourself.
Yeah, I've noticed that when you check in, I think I saw it. I don't know when the check in, if it was this week or last week, when you checked in and you said it sure feels good when you follow through and do what you said you're going to do. I think you said that in one of your check
Yep,
ins,
yeah, that
right?
was it. I was traveling. I had had a real long day in the car. I didn't want to come home and do it, but I knew, I was busy Monday as well. So I said, if I don't, then I'm going to get behind. And then, I will not complete all of my workouts this week. And I have a goal to do
Yeah.
that,
Yeah, you've been
So,
doing that. That's right. Because
yeah,
you were doing this, one thing at a time, and then recently your goal has been you were like, I'm gonna make sure to get 2 trainings in, and you did that for a while. And now you're like, I'm gonna make sure to get 3. I love how you have been just building your habits and stacking them little by little. It's working. It's working,
just
Heather.
yes, I'm not getting overwhelmed. I'm just doing one thing at a time. And you know what, Anna, it's getting easier. I never
Oh,
thought I would. And I said, I don't think I'm ever gonna like working out. I don't know though, it's starting a little bit to be like, oh wow.
you're starting to feel like you like
Yeah,
it.
I like the
The
results I'm
results.
getting.
That's
Yep.
right. That's
And
right.
like the way I feel. And it feels great, when you've done it and followed through with what you say you're gonna do.
Right, exactly. And I guess that's now because you're now, did you get that promotion? Are they going to, are you still
I'm
doing that at
sure
work?
they would have me, but I think like right now for the hours I have, I'm happy
You're
with
just
where I'm
happy with where you're
at.
at.
I'm
Yeah,
very happy, and they're very happy with me, and that's all I'm looking for at this
great. That's
point.
good. I love that.
Yeah.
You have that. You know what you want
Yep.
and you don't feel like you have to achieve more to be more. It's like this is,
Yep.
you're happy with what you chose. I love
Yeah.
this.
Things have definitely gotten easier at work at my job because of the physical, things.
Yeah.
I'm bigger. I can get more done. I, you know.
It's so true. It's so true. I just heard you a little while ago say that you didn't want to work out. You didn't want to do anything. You just felt tired and exhausted. But that's how a lot of women feel, and they haven't gotten started, but they just need to do that one thing. And changing how we're eating is huge when it comes to how we feel and how we're fueling our body with, instead of the junk
Absolutely.
and all that kind of stuff. So
That can be the first step.
let's talk about these victories that have nothing to do with the scale, because you say, you've lost 20 pounds. But what are you most proud about in your life? Like, how has, well, you've already mentioned how a lot of things have changed in your life. Um, I guess we can talk about the alcohol thing, because I think this is a big one. And I drank alcohol and I didn't realize how much it was impacting me, because I was counting the alcohol calories and I was putting it, budgeting it in my fat loss journey. But I think how much healthier I would have felt at the time if I didn't, and I haven't been drinking alcohol for, I don't even know now. I've lost track. It's been a couple of years, but it is a game changer. And I had just ran into somebody yesterday at the gym who she decided to let go of alcohol because she was feeling like her health and everything, and she let it go, and it turned her life around. She started without the alcohol. She now was focusing on taking better care of herself. Can you talk a little bit more about your relationship with alcohol? I mean, everybody's different, so I'd love to hear more about your story with that.
Certainly. Definitely had a social relationship with alcohol. A lot of my activities started revolving around eating and drinking, though, alcohol. It seemed like wherever we went, there were drinks here, drinks there. I don't think I would have known it unless I gave up alcohol, how much different the mornings are. I wasn't hungover in the mornings, but I also wasn't a morning person. I still can't say that I am, but it's amazing. I just wake up and you know what? I feel different. I feel like I can do so much more at the end
Yes.
of the day. And I know it's not only from, of course, it's everything, but I know when you're not drinking, you are more inclined to do things. The motivation is there, go out and
Yes.
take a walk rather than, come home from work, have a glass of wine, sit on the couch. And then the worst, is I'd sit there and you're watching videos of people working out and, well, I should do this. Someday I'm going to look like that, and it really, it just changes your mind. And takes just takes away that motivation that
Mm-hmm.
you really need to do things. I think
Did
I
you,
definitely have.
I'm curious, did you carry any shame or guilt for your drinking alcohol ever?
No,
Okay,
no,
some
I
people
didn't,
do.
but yeah, no, not really.
It's a game changer
Except
though in
the
the
way,
morning.
what weighed on me? The effects on my health. That
Okay.
I knew this was taking a toll on my
Yeah.
health,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that
Because
in the
even,
long run, it probably isn't good. And the more you drink alcohol, the more you just get used to it, and it becomes a habit. And um
yeah,
you know
it chemically
excuse me.
alters our mind, our brain. There's that, but it's also adding, fire to fuel to that fire that, the menopause conversation. It's our bodies are, you know, we don't need to add that toxic thing to our body. And no judgment to anybody, because I used to drink, a lot, like not to the point where like I was having a problem in my life, but it was definitely a part of my life in every event, every get together, everything.
Yeah,
And
that
but
I
but I was
agree.
like you. I'm thinking there is no amount of alcohol that's safe. Alcohol is toxic, and it can cause and has caused cancer. And so why? So for me, it sounds like you were kind of in that same boat.
Absolutely. It has been nothing but good. And I have people ask me all the time, well, well, how long are you doing this for? Why, in questions. And I don't take it as judgment. I just, go on with it. And I don't know. Maybe someday I will decide
Sure,
I,
sure.
I want to go back to drinking or I want to have a drink, but
Right.
for now it's
For
fine. And
now, it feels
I think
good.
it's cool that I'm going to keep it up because the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah, do I want to go back there? It's
Yeah.
a lot of money. It's a lot of time. It's a lot, on your mind, or
Right.
lack of on your mind. You're using it, to numb, the effects of life or whatever, and it just would make me tired and lazy and all those things.
Yeah.
So,
It does. You're right. It takes a certain amount of mental energy when it's in your life because you're
mm,
always having to make a decision. How much am I going to drink? Am I going to have a drink? I'm going what, it's always not, but now when without it, it's like it's you have more mental energy to think about other things. How have you managed with your social life? You just answer people that are curious and that's it.
yeah, yeah, and they're all, oh goodness, why isn't Heather drinking? Did something happen? I think they're all, but it's fine,
Have they
I go,
accepted?
I have, they accept it, yes, yes,
Okay.
and you know what? I'm still social. I still go out with all my friends, do things. There are so many non-alcoholic choices now,
Yeah.
I'm fine having non-alcoholic beers and things like that. I always, have that or make up my own drinks and I'm fine with it.
Good
There's
for
been times
you.
that I've been like, "Ooh, I want a nice big margarita," but you know what? It's not worth it at this point to me that I'm gonna, go back in that direction and
Yes, man, I celebrate that with you, Heather. That's so cool.
yeah,
So awesome. I get it.
yeah, just part
Well,
of my journey, doing something
yes,
different this
that's
time and
right. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. So let's imagine for a minute a woman who's listening today who is busy, all of the responsibilities, the weight of the world on her shoulders, and she feels overwhelmed. Maybe she's 45, maybe she's 50, maybe she's 55, and she's tried everything. What would you say to this woman who's listening right now?
sure. Come to Rock That Fitness. You got a great group of
You know,
friends.
like let
You know
you
what?
talk to her, Heather. Like if you just
Yeah.
met her,
Yeah.
and she's feeling this way. It's a
Yeah.
friend and she's feeling this way. What would you
You
say to
need to
her?
do things one step at a time. You just need to take that first step. You need to get yourself off the couch and just do one thing. It
Yes.
can be, work on your nutrition or that change is possible, and you're not too busy. I thought I was the busiest person in the world. Were we stuck for a minute? It looked like I was frozen for a minute, but
Yeah, it's gonna catch up. The video
I
catches
thought I
up.
was the busiest person in the world. I don't have any time to track my food. I don't have any time to do fitness. Just, you know what you do? You need to make that time for yourself. 1 hour a day. You can do it. You just need to get up and take that first step. And it can be doing anything, any one thing, moving your body, tracking your food. Um, but it is possible, just small changes. I'm not, the poster child for weight loss here. I am a lazy, tired girl just saying, I don't know about this. If I can do it, you definitely can. And there's no reason, there's nothing holding you back
Ooh.
as to why you can't do this. There really isn't. You may be hearing it from a million different places. You need this, you need these supplements, that you need to do this XYZ, but really you don't. It's very, very easy. um you know Once
Do,
with just a little guidance of what you need to be doing, you need to get that guidance.
but what if you don't feel like you can actually do it, just right?
Oh, that's the mindset part that I have this time.
Did you
We
have
can't
it? Was
be.
it different before?
It was a little different before. I felt a little pressure on myself. I put the pressure on myself
Yeah.
that I'm going to do everything perfectly. I'm going
Mm.
to be in that calorie deficit every day. I'm going to do the workouts every day. You know what happens when you do that? You get overwhelmed, you get burnt out, you say, I give up, this is too hard, so I learned this time. And I hope I've learned this time. I've come
Of
too
course you have.
far.
Of
At
course you have.
least if I ever went back, I know what I need to do. Um,
Yeah,
yeah,
because some of the old
one step
sometimes
at
are
a time.
yeah, because sometimes those old patterns they like to creep in when life gets crazy and busy and but you have it, you
Mm-hmm.
already know and you're doing the self-talk.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes it will happen. But yeah, I love that you said that because that is one of the biggest things that we have to give ourselves permission to show up imperfectly because there's no such thing as being perfect and one thing at a time, not all the things. And because you talked about this on that coaching call, I was like, this girl could totally coach this group today. Just take it over, Heather. Okay,
And you
so
need to learn to say no so that you can say yes to yourself. You need to, too
see,
many people, yes, 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 I'll do it. You want to be perfect
that's
at your
right.
job, at your home life. There's so many things we want to do. And I'm learning I need to say no to some
That
things in order to say yes to myself. That would
yes,
be advice that I would give to anyone. It is the hardest thing in the world to do, to tell somebody no. But I'm learning if you can do one thing, make time for yourself by saying no.
that is so Heather. That right there, because that is the one of the biggest things that's one of the things that I do remember you struggling with. Probably
Mm,
one of the biggest things for you to say no. You were saying yes to so many things. And by saying yes to so many things, you were inadvertently saying no to yourself. And that's a huge shift that I've observed in you. Great advice. Great advice. So I have one more thing that I think we should probably bring up because you keep on saying, come to Rock That Fitness. So here's your chance. But how important has the community been for you? Like, tell us about that for you.
sure. It's been immeasurable, the support and community that there is in RockNet Fitness. Um, I I had obviously been there in the past. I met these women. We talk about everything in there. Can be you're having a good day, you're having a bad day. You're making for dinner. You have questions. Posting videos of, your lifts. Am I doing this right? Things like that. People are just so genuine and honest. It's not like any other community out there on the internet. I think you're probably pretty discerning on who you let in. We're not letting in just anybody. These people really are just normal women who have busy lives and are, just looking for some advice in a supportive group of women. I have to say, one of the best things I did was join your Kickstart group. For those that don't know, the Kickstart group is a 6-week program where Anna will onboard a small group of people. I think I might have had 6 or 7 in my group. Amazing women. You get to know these people in the group, see their faces on a weekly Zoom meeting, and she goes over every step of the program. And if you have questions and things, but you really get to know these women. And so you come out and you're with everyone else in Rock That Fitness, where you get all the support of people who have been there a long time, but then you have the new people who are with you and you're cheering each other on. I need
Yeah.
that every day. These girls just, I'm so proud of you, and fun. It's fun. It
Yeah.
really is. It makes it, a good time.
And you're not alone.
Yeah.
You're not doing it alone. And it's not even about the workouts anymore. It's that connection knowing that we're all in it together. We're on different journeys, unique paths in our lives, but we're all sharing this bond of stepping up and making our health and our fitness a priority. And that's why I think it's so powerful because like I said in our day-to-day face-to-face life, it's hard to find that kind of encouragement and support and that connection that's real and not here to be comparing to other people and all that. We're here to have a good time, what we're doing and connect with each other. So, and you're amazing at that. And this time around, I really have seen like so many changes in you, Heather. It's almost like a, I don't know, like a 180 degrees. I see you like this face and you smile, you're glowing like you haven't before. There's something that has totally shifted for you. So, who do you think you have become these last 5 months? Like, who have you become?
I've become hopefully someone who keeps a promise to herself and is very proud about that. That if I'm going to do something, I'm going to follow through and do it. I'm someone who has hope and goals that, hope that what I was thinking in the past, that, health and fitness, being a fit person, weren't possible for me, that I just was too old and my time had passed and I'm just, going to be who I was, to somebody who I'm kind of in a transformation, and it's going to be a long journey, but someone who's looking forward to the future and, see who I'm becoming, where, I've been, not just in my fitness too, but in all aspects of my life, making multiple changes between my job and thinking about retirement
Yeah.
plans, possibly moving, out of New England in the cold weather someday. These are big things, but you need to plan for them now.
Yes.
You plan now. So somebody, who starts, knowing that larger things are possible, for
Yeah.
me, and just taking things one day at a time, not getting overwhelmed with it at all, but progressing,
Yeah. It
slowly
sounds like you've,
progressing by sticking to it.
yes, sticking to it. And, but what you just said about thinking about the future, some women are wanting to take a big step in their health and their fitness, but they're afraid. So, because there is a very real fear of failing just again, how can you speak to that? Because I think that you are living this out all the time, because I think that you see things that you're afraid of, but you do it anyway. Can you speak to that?
Sure, absolutely. One of the reasons it took me so long to come back, Anna, from, whatever it was, 2002, after I'd been in and we'd, yes, I had a long lot of things going in my life, but oh my goodness, what if I fail? If I have to quit again, or I don't have to quit again, what if I quit again? And all these people know me now. And oh, there's Heather. Oh, there goes Heather
Oh, you're so
again,
cute.
Or it is very scary. You've tried
Yeah,
so many different things, and
it feels
you know what?
uncomfortable. Yeah.
But each one you do is a learning experience, and you do need to take, that with you. But um it's different. It's different. Just
It's different, I think, what you're probably trying to say, because I see you living this out daily, because every day we have fear. And the thing that we can look at is the failure part is that part of us that wants to do it right and perfectly and achieve it. But when we can just look at it as feedback and learn, like you just said, it changes things. And so that's what you are doing daily. Like, okay, it's not about, am
absolutely.
I going to fail? It's about, what am I doing today?
Right. And if you do fail, you're going to come up with another plan.
Right.
It's
Yes.
at least I am.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
scared when I left my job, and what if this doesn't work out? What am I going to do? I'm still thinking, well, eventually what happens if I leave this job, or I, want to do something else? What's that going to look like? But you know you look into the future and you want to make a plan for your future, but you can't look in fear. You can't be there in fear of doing something, for your
Yeah.
future. You really need to take a step and do it. Get out of the comfort zone. You have to take that step out of your comfort zone in so many things and know that life's gonna be okay. You may fall down, you may, fail at multiple things, but somehow, to me, I'm a very positive person. There's always a way out. There are things, very few things you can do. I always tell my kids there are few things that are harder than others to get yourself out of situations or whatever. But hopefully whatever you do fail at is a learning experience, and you
Yeah.
move on, and
Right.
there's always another door.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because
so
it's not
try
really,
again.
yeah, because it's about the feedback. And I think you just said that. It's not about
Hmm.
what if I fail? It's not about that because if you're already thinking that, then, that's not going to help. But do it scared. That's how it's going to be different.
Do
Nothing
it scared.
changes. Yeah.
Yeah, do
Nothing
it. And
changes unless you do something different. And it's not
mhm,
comfortable and it is scary. It is scary.
absolutely. And
Yeah.
it takes a while. It's going to take time to adjust, getting off that couch and, working out or eating
But
well
trusting,
or
like you,
learning a program. But yeah, trust yourself
and
that you can
trusting
do it. Give
yourself.
yourself
Yeah.
credit.
Right. Like, what if something happens? Okay, trust yourself that you can handle it, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh my gosh. So many very important things that we're bringing up in that area of how we're thinking about the future and the fears and worst case scenario. You're going to figure it out. You can trust yourself to do that. You're smart. And it's not really failure, it's just feedback. And like you just said, because you can just look at it and go, well, what got in the way? Or what do I need to do differently so that I get a different result? It's that. Well, Heather, this has been great. And I know, like, I want to respect your time. We got to probably wrap up here, but I wanted to ask you one last thing, if I could.
Sure.
Um, if you, so if you could go back and sit beside the person, the version of you in January, okay, you were exhausted, you were overwhelmed and putting yourself last, you were worried about the future, what would you say to that past version of you at the, yeah,
Get up right now and do something about this. Don't sit here, thinking about it every day, worrying about it every day. In 6 months from now, you're going to be, if I had told myself, in 6 months from now or however long it's been, that I would be down 20 pounds, maybe I, would have even, joined back sooner, but that, you know, I didn't think that I would be where I am today when I was, sitting on that couch in January thinking about rejoining. But it was enough to, I had enough in me to talk myself into trying it one more time
yeah,
and
and you
doing
just took it one
things
step at a
differently,
time.
but have the confidence to do it. You can do it. Just, it doesn't take a lot, just a little bit at a time, and you're going to be successful. I
Yes,
would tell myself
yes,
you're going to be successful. If I had heard
absolutely.
that and knew, that, then that might be all you need. If
Right,
somebody told me
you
this is
will.
what you're going to look like or feel like,
Yeah.
in that it's not that hard or disruptive to your life, you can do it and fit it in, then yep.
Yeah, we rearrange things, we make it work.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Heather, thank you so much. This has been amazing. You're amazing. And I just appreciate you so much. Like I said, you're just a shining light. You're inspiring. And I just had to bring you onto the podcast. And I'm super excited to share with our listeners. And listeners, I just want to say thank you for listening to this episode and Heather's story. If this is something that resonates with you, check out the show notes and see how you can be a part, take a step into that scary place and do something different. Yeah, that's it,
Same.
Heather. Thank you so
Thank
much, girl. I
you.
really appreciate you.
Great time.
All right, everybody. As always, self-care, self-love, all day, every day, in every way. Do I have your word? Good. Rock on.